Ready, steady, go! Now it's time to sing and clap, sing and clap, sing and clap. Now it's time to sing and clap all together. And now it's time to read a book, read a book, read a book. Now it's time to read a book all together. Now it's time to roll your hands, roll your hands, roll your hands. Now it's time to roll your hands all together. And now it's time to reach for the sky, reach for the sky, reach for the sky. Now it's time to reach for the sky all together. Well, welcome, and how you doing? And today's letter is the letter R. Letter R, yeah. And there's loads of words that start with a R, like red. So there's quite a bit of red around today. Oh, look, there's a bit of red in my pick. Can you see? A bit of red there. And I think somewhere I've got oh yeah, look, I've got a red feather. So there's red, and can you think of any other words that start with a R? How about this one? Can you work out what this sound is? Listen carefully. Sounds like what it's meant to be. It's rain, rain. That's it, rain. What is rain anyway? Rain, it's that stuff, it comes from the sky. It's water coming from the sky, from the clouds. There's a couple of songs about rain. Let's try one of those. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Bumped his head and he went to bed, and he couldn't get up in the morning. This song is about a spider trying to cope with rain. It's so difficult for spiders. Okay, so you know, you kind of they're climbing up and making their webs, and then it rains and it all pours away. Oh, the incy wincy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the incy wincy spider climbed up the spout again. So when it's raining, it's like, yes, you know, you might not feel like going out, but it can be quite interesting outside. Here's some things that you might do while you're outside in the rain. I suppose you have to put up your umbrella and put a raincoat on, keep you dry, and then you can go and explore. There are things out there. Some things change when there's rain. Oh, taking your umbrellas out, and oh, here comes the rain, and it's funny how the clouds go all dark when it's raining. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter, pitter, patter, patter. And you might see a frog. You might put your wellies on. You might jump in a puddle. Sometimes the worms come out, they get washed out of the mud and they're wriggling around trying to get back home. And also the snails might come out. There's an umbrella, you might need one of those. And you might even see some ducklings around. Oh, and if it's a big fat storm, it goes. But if it's raining and it's daytime and the sun is out, so it's raining and the sun is out, what do you get? Do you know? You get a rainbow. A rainbow. Here's a poem about how rainbows got made. It's called The Rainbow Fairies. Two little clouds, one summer's day, went flying through the sky. They went so fast they bumped their heads and both began to cry. Oh. Old Father Sun looked out and said, "Oh, never mind, my dears. I'll send my little fairy folk to dry your falling tears." One fairy came in violet, one wore indigo, in blue, green, yellow, orange, red. They made a pretty row. They wiped the cloud tears all away, and then from out of the sky, upon a line the sunbeams made, they hung their gowns to dry. Anyway, how do you do a letter R? It's palm hands, and then make a curly little finger like that, and it makes a little R. See, a little R shape. And Oscar in our book, he's making an R shape, and his word is rainbow. So let's have a look at that. There you go. R. And his shape is making is rainbow. Let's look if we can find any other words that start with the letter R. How about reading? Well, this little child is reading a book. And this child is playing with rings. Can you see that? Playing with rings. And can you think of any animals that start with a R? How about this one? What that is? It's a rabbit. Yeah, a rabbit. And there are other animals that start with a R, like a rhino. I don't know how you sign a rhino, but you wouldn't want to cross a rhino. Roar. Bold lions love roaring, while cubs play, racing, chasing, scrambling over lionesses, and oops, tumbling. So roar, lions, roar. Actually, I've got a little rabbit. Actually, it's not a little rabbit at all. It's an enormous rabbit. Look at this rabbit. It's just enormous. It's bigger than me, look. Oh yeah. It's enormous. Really quite cuddly though. Here's a story about a little gosling who has a red hat, and that red hat is very important to it. And something's gonna happen. He's called Petey. Petey. This is Petey. Petey is a gosling. A small yellow gosling who sometimes forgets things. Oh, we all forget things sometimes. You have to try and remember. Petey forgets things even when Mama Goose reminds him. He forgets to come in out from the rain. He forgets to eat all of his food. He forgets to tidy his nest. He forgets to take a nap. He forgets to turn the egg. Yeah, he's quite forgetful, isn't he? I think he's just thinking about other things. But Petey never forgets to wear his red cap. He loves his red cap. He wears it everywhere he goes. He wears it when he dives, splash. He wears it when he slides, shoo. And he wears it when he explores. And I think he does a lot of exploring. He's always looking at things he's interested in, isn't he? What's that? What's this? He wears it when he snores. Petey never forgets to wear his lucky red cap everywhere he goes. Then one day, Petey put his red cap in a secret place, but he forgot where he put it. He looked in the pond, he looked in the apples, he looked under the flower pot, he looked in the tall grass, but Petey could not remember where he put it. Did you forget to turn the egg? Asked Mother Goose. Petey slowly drudged back to the nest. His lucky red baseball hat was gone. Then he saw it. There you are. Where was it? Look. It was on top of the egg. Petey is a goslin, and he forgets things sometimes. The end. Oh, I wanted to share with you words that rhyme. So, for instance, there's an animal which is a bit like a mouse. It's called a rat. A rat. Can you think of another word that sounds a bit like rat? How about something that you wear on your head? A hat. A hat. Or something that you might stand on in front of your front door. A mat. A mat. Or something that goes meow. A cat. So all those words, rat, hat, mat, cat, they all rhyme. Rhyme. Next, in this next short song, roses and posies are rhyming. Roses and posies. Ring a roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fall down. And here's a red instrument. It's called a rattle. A rattle. It's made of wood, and it's got some other bits of wood, and they hit each other. I've got some other types of rattles as well. Here's a rattle. It's like some bits of wood on a stick. And here's a very different kind of rattle, which is in the shape of an animal. It's got a very interesting middle though. And also one more instrument, which is not like those. It's not a rattle. It's got its own name, and it's actually supposed to sound like rain. Okay, and so listen carefully, and let's see if you think it does sound like rain. It's called, I'm sure you've seen one before, it's called a rain stick. Well, now it's time for me to rest. Thank you so much for watching the video. And next time, what comes after letter R in the alphabet? It's letter S, which you make with little fingers like that. Time to go home, time to go home. We are all singing, it's time to go home. Time to go home. Time to go home.